Hey out there, dreamers and doers. Amanda Rosazza here from Be the Black Sheep, welcoming you to a brand new episode of
MagicPD,
where we show you how to bring the magic home. Thanks so much for joining me. Today, we've got another episode that deals specifically with the Disney parks. And my question for you is, what exactly is a cast member? Now, if you've been to the parks before, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but there are still some incredible lessons that we can learn from cast members. So what's a cast member? So a cast member is any employee that you'll find in the parks. It can be someone that's serving you in a restaurant. It could be someone that's serving you in a shop. It could be one of the groundskeepers or someone that's picking up the rubbish. It could be someone at the ride, a ride attendant. Anyone that works in the parks is called a cast member. Now, why is it that they're called cast members? Why aren't they just called staff? Because anything at a Disney park is a show. Anything at the parks is always on show. And when they are out in the park, they're on stage. So of course, they're going to be a cast member. Now, the thing that really amazes me about cast members is that the level of service and magic and just fabulousness that they deliver to people consistently on a daily basis is just incredible. If you've had the pleasure of visiting a park, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Obviously, I'm biased, but the level of service that you will experience on a Disney property is literally second to none. I can guarantee you that. So you should definitely check it out. Let's have a think of some of the examples. Now, I encourage you, pop in the comments if you've been to a park and you've been really looked after by a staff member. For example, I was there on my honeymoon and we wore our just married badges. And we were just so looked after. We got, free little desserts at the restaurants. We sometimes were brought to the front of the line to ride at the front of the line. What was another thing? Free coffees. The cast members really want to make sure that you have a magical experience. Just someone even congratulating you, even down to using your first name. So if you stay on property, they can actually see your name. And when it comes up, if you use your magic band, I'm talking about Walt Disney World here, you actually have a magic band that allows you to charge things to your room and stuff like that. So many people called me by my first name and I didn't have my name anywhere on me, but they were looking at the computer system. Little things like that make your experience so much more special, and they go out of their way to make sure that they're creating magic with every interaction that they have with people. So how exactly do they do that? So number one, cast members are taught the skills that they need to do their jobs. So if they're a barista, they're going to be taught how to make a really amazing coffee. Or if they're a chef, they're going to make sure, Disney are going to make sure that they know how to make each and every dish on the menu perfectly. If they're a ride attendant, they're going to make sure that that cast member knows how to make sure everyone is having a safe and fantastically fabulous time. But more importantly, the cast members are taught how to create happiness. Happiness. Think about that. Can you think of any job that you've ever been in where your primary function, I guess, apart from keeping people safe and making sure that things are efficient, was to create happiness? That was never in any employee manual that I ever had. I can guarantee you that. So they're taught how to create happiness and how to create magic. So that's their purpose. That is why they're there, is to create that happiness. And it empowers them to provide outstanding and second to none service to all guests that are in the park. They approach each guest with that same mentality, that same intention, and the outcomes are just incredible. So here's my question for you, dreamers and doers. What can you do in your everyday life to be just like one of our favorite cast members at a Disney park? Imagine if you made it your sole mission as you enter the world each day, whether it's the guy serving you coffee, or your husband or your wife or your partner or your brother or your sister or your mother or your daughter or your son, whoever it is, your best friend. Imagine if you made it your sole mission on that day with every person you interacted with to bring them happiness? How do you think your world would change or their world would change if your sole mission was to show up and give people happiness? So thanks again for joining us, guys, for another episode of
MagicPD,
where we teach you how to bring the magic home. Again, thanks for watching. Comments, hit me up with a like, hit me up with a comment. Again, you'll find me on the web, www.theblacksheep.com.au. You'll also find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I will see you for a brand new episode soon. Have a good one. Bye.